Welcome everyone to session 2 of Shelly Smola's Easter Quiet Book Embroider Along with me, Rachel Couch, and Bernina of Oklahoma City. So just to do a quick recap of what we can do, or what this collection is. So can be a quiet book or a quilt. There's a lot of really fun activities for children in it. And the cover's really cool because it is pieced in the hoop. And as I said, it can be done as both as a book or a quilt. And there are 2 different size designs. There's a 4x4 design and a 5x7 design. With the quilt, they use minky as the sashing and pom-pom trim around the outside, as well as using rickrack around the blocks. So lots of textures there. So this is the schedule of our meetings. We have, of course, already done January 8th, and we are currently doing January 22nd. So the next one will be February 5th. They are all Fridays at 10 a.m. And they're mostly 2 weeks apart, except for the last one, which is a week after the previous. And that is so that you have time to make the book before Easter actually rolls around. So I did make a handout. You can find it on berninaokc.com. You go to classes and then tutorials, and should have a click here to see all the Shelly Smola Easter Quiet Book stuff. And this I made so that you can organize your thread colors, because in the official PDF of how to do the embroider everything out, she uses color names like light yellow, yellow, bright yellow, instead of giving thread numbers. So what I did is I matched thread to the fabric I had, and then used a shade chart to figure out what other colors I want that goes with that. And then you can write them down, and then you have an idea of what each thing is supposed to go with. And then the other things that are on here is all the embroidery designs, and they're actually listed as much as I could in order of what we are going to embroider them out. We do about, quote unquote, 5 designs or 5 hoopings each month. So you can just kind of cross off which ones you've done. I really like being able to physically cross things off, and I know they're done. Okay, so our session 2 embroidery designs, we have our concentration pages 1 and 2. The Easter egg hunt pages 1 and 2, and then we're also doing the concentration pocket, where all your concentration cards can be kept. We are not making the cards this time. We will do that in a later session. So for your concentration page, you need quote-unquote felt. Again, felt in this case just means something that does not fray. I am actually using more fleece for the background, although I do have felt for doing other things, like the concentration card pocket I made was made out of felt, like real felt. This one needs 3 1.5-inch squares for the Easter egg pockets. So those are the pockets that, where'd Mr. Mouse go? That are right here, that hold freestanding Easter eggs, which we will make next time. An X-Acto knife or buttonhole cutter. You need some ribbon. A zipper needs to be nylon or polyester. No metal zippers here. Anytime you're doing anything embroidery, you do not want a metal zipper, because the embroidery machine does not like going over it. And then you need fabric for your concentration pocket that will not fray. For the Easter egg hunt pages, what you will want is just some felt for the background, and then 2 fabric squares. I'm not mentioning the ribbon or X-Acto knife because we're not making the 3D elements, although I'm also not really talking about how to put those together yet. We will get there. So for embroidering our concentration page, you want to hoop your fabric with the stabilizer, and then use a strip, and I recommend using a strip of the fabric to get the most hoopings out of it, because you hoop, cut off what you've embroidered, and then you have more space to hoop the next one. So this is page 1. So it does have the egg pockets for the Easter egg hunt, which are these pieces. So you're going to embroider kind of normally until you get to color 14. You are going to go ahead and embroider color 14, which is the egg pocket cutting line. That is where this left hooping is at. So it does a buttonhole and then a line around the bottom of the egg pocket. So then you are going to cut your buttonholes open as the first step. That's really important. I do use a buttonhole cutter to do that. And then we are going to place our 1.5 inch squares on the back of our hoop. Then you're going to stitch color 13, which is the finish, which is actually what's going on here. I can tell it's the finish because there is a straight line at the top of the buttonhole, which most people won't notice. It just takes knowing what you're looking for to see it. And that creates the little pocket for our freestanding applique eggs. So then we have our second concentration page, and it is just eyelets for putting the pocket on. So I have a question. When do you cut your pages apart if you use the strip? I cut them apart as soon as one page gets done embroidering. I will roughly cut it off. Like, I won't cut exactly the size it's supposed to be, as I don't recommend, even if I've done it, I don't recommend trimming these to size unless you have the pinking rotary cutter blade or pinking scissors or the wavy rotary cutter blade, because that's how they recommend finishing it. But I would, as soon as it's embroidered, trim it off. But for page 2, it's just the eyelets. I love these in hoopings because it's just a one color hooping. Hoop it, embroider it, go on to the next hooping. And then we have our concentration pocket. So this one's going to be like the egg pocket from last month, almost exactly, except a different shape. So we're going to hoop some wash away stabilizer. I am using aqua mesh. And you stitch color number 1, which is a placement line. You place your applique fabric over the placement stitch. You stitch color number 2, which is not on there, which is the tack down / cutting line. You trim your applique fabric around this cutting line, and then you can continue embroidering. But because we're putting a zipper in, we're going to stop after color 16. So 16 finishes off the design sequence, and we're going to do color 17, which is our cutting line for zipper section. So it's this line right here. We're going to remove our hoop from the machine, but we're not going to unhoop. Don't unhoop until you get to the very end. We're going to trim fabric inside the cutting line so that it is open. This one I did do with felt, so it's a little bit thicker. We're going to return our hoop to the machine and stitch color 18, which is our finish for zipper section. So it's going to do a satin stitch around the zipper section just to give it a finished look. Then you're going to remove your hoop again. There's a lot of putting on and off the hoop. Like, this seems like it go really fast. If you look at the time on the machine, it takes a little bit of time. You're going to trim a small section of the stabilizer away on the left side. It needs to be about the size of a zipper head. Works if it's a teeny bit bigger, so you can get scissors in there later. And you're going to place a closed zipper on the back of the hoop with the zipper head through the hole, making sure that the zipper teeth are in the zipper gap, a little gap there, and the zipper stop should be outside the pockets. And then we have stitch color, we're going to stitch color 19, which is the tack down for the right side. So that is this straight line right here. We're going to take the hoop off the machine again. We're going to trim all the stabilizer away from the opening. And then we're going to open the zipper all the way. So it's now, the zipper head is now on the right hand side. And we're going to stitch color number 20, which is tack down for the left half of the zipper. A lot of trying to get the zipper right is just, in my opinion, taping it in place, because you don't want it to move. I also use the light, like I'll hold my hoop up to the light so I can see where the zipper teeth are to make sure in the right place. So after you get the zipper, you do color 20, you're going to remove your concentration cards or pocket from the hoop, trim the stabilizer away fairly close, but don't cut stitches. You do not want to cut stitches. And we're going to leave the zipper long. We're going to finish that at a later time. And then we have our Easter egg hunt pages, which once you do the concentration pocket, these are easy because it's going back to just standard embroidery. We're going to hoop our fabric with our stabilizer. Again, I'm using fleece. We're going to embroider page 1. It does have 2 egg pockets, so you'll do the egg pockets like we did earlier in the presentation. And then we'll embroider Easter egg hunt page 2, which is mostly eyelets, but it does have some other little pieces to it, but no egg pockets. So then you should have 5 completed designs. And even though I keep doing it, please don't trim to size at this time, because I did not read the full instructions before trimming mine, and what they actually recommend is trimming it to size with a pinking rotary cutter blade or a wavy rotary cutter blade, just something that's not quite perfectly straight. And sometimes I'm bad with reading instructions. So, questions. Can I show how to do a zipper? Are you wanting like a video? Because I've kind of now done all the zippers for the books I'm planning on making, but I can see what I can do if you're wanting a video. Fleece seems real flimsy. Yes, but it's also about the same like texture, and if you get a soft baby book, it feels a lot like if you put 2 layers of fleece together. Okay, I can try and do a video. I haven't done many things like that. I will see what I can do. I'm not going to promise, but I will see what I can do. But the fleece can seem real flimsy, but I have a feeling that once you get 2 layers of it together, it will not be as bad. It also, whenever you sew the pages together, not that we've gotten to finishing, they use rickrack around the outside edge, and that will help give it a little bit, the edges at least, some more stabilization. Hi, Linda. And again, most of the time, not all the times, but a lot of those, well, no, I can't even say a lot because it's like half and half. I've done both fleece and felt for the zipper pockets, and because of how they get laced on, I don't think it's that big of the hand of the fleece is not that big of a deal. Like it's not very stable, or not. It is stable. It's very fluffy. It's not very stiff, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so join us February 5th at 10 to continue this journey. And we'll see you next time.